What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Metal Maniacs Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Ingersoll, and I'm here with my co-host.
It's your boy, Mod.
And today we got a full-ass fucking house for you. We got the whole gang here. First time ever with 6 guys. That's what I've heard, at least. Or is it?
First time.
Anyway, we got the whole band here today of Pain Divine. So thank you guys so much for coming through the pod. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And so just so everyone's acquainted, why don't you start here? I know you, fool, but you can go around and say your name and what you do in the band.
I'm Jeremy. I play guitar.
I'm Mike. I play drums.
I'm Bob. I play riffs.
Griffs.
Griffs. Yeah.
Riffs.
Only the grooviest of riffs.
Ryan, vocalist and bass player.
Nice. Well, today is going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to listen to the new Pain Divine EP, right? Is that what we're calling it? EP?
It's called a Worthy Adversary.
A Worthy
So
Adversary?
it is an EP, but
EP.
we're calling it Worthy Adversary.
Okay, cool. So we're going to listen to that. We're going to do it. We're going to listen to one song at a time, and then we'll kind of discuss it afterwards, and then kind of give our thoughts and go from there. So is there anything you guys want to say about it or anything before we get into it? Or
honestly, just shout out Colin from 19 Stars Record, or 19 Stars?
Yeah,
Awesome.
19 Star Studio.
Yeah, 19 Stars Studio. He's the fucking man.
Truly, truly.
He's the fucking man.
He's in infamy and Days Lost, but the work he's doing, and we could not be happier with the work he's done. He's given us a lot of good ideas. We've bounced things back and forth, but the way this is turning out, like, all the credit goes to Colin. Like, he knows what's up. So you need to record Northwest Indiana, super chill dude, super good prices. Hit up Colin, Northwest Indiana, 19 Star Studio.
okay.
And he has a cool dog.
Oh, well, then let me ask you one quick question. What was the decision to go there then? Why, and like, how did you find out about him? I should say.
I think it was just a matter of we love the stuff we've done in the past, but we just felt like we really wanted some, like, our live show and the aggressive nature of it and the sound. Like, these new songs, we felt like we really wanted just to have. We had a sound in mind, and so we started looking around at certain spots, and I think we brought a couple different spots to the band, and then we were like, that one feels right. The stuff that he's recording sounds good. He actually he recorded his own band, Infamy. And we listened to that, and that we were just like, yeah, this guy gets it. This guy, like,
That was the sound.
Yeah, this is what we want.
Sure.
It was immediate. I think Bob even said right off the bat, it was like that one. It was just like he knew it. So, and it's Northwest Indiana, so it's not too far of a drive for us.
Yeah.
And plus it was he was been in bands like Purgatory, and just being in the band he's in, we just felt like this guy gets it. Like, he's not just some guy recording bands on his computer. Like, he's in it.
Right.
He knows it. So it was just feeling like we could trust him.
Okay.
That's important.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, you want to cue up the first song?
Yep. This first song is called Wretched.
This is my personal favorite.
Okay.
Mine too.
Some personal fave.
Ignored or bored.
Hell yeah, that was fucking badass.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing riffs back.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
All the griffs.
Fucking, I'm glad it wasn't riff soup. I'm good on that. I don't
Okay.
really like soup. So,
I actually
that was cool.
appreciate that because that was honestly one of our goals with these songs was to just focus more on like the songwriting, the structures to make it be a little bit, you know,
Wasn't
I don't want to lose my
predictable,
street
but it
cred, but a little bit more of a pop structure. A little
No,
bit
I
more
like
of-
it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it wasn't entirely predictable. Like, you couldn't just say, like, oh, they're obviously going to the part that
Right.
they did last time.
Right.
You guys
Mhm.
introduced new parts to it, but it did have some callbacks on it, so it made it feel
Solo-
like a cohesive song.
That was me.
You?
That
Yeah.
guy.
No solos from you, Bob?
Not on that one.
Not
Not
that
on,
one.
but on this record,
Yeah,
you
I
got
got
something?
yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah, a little bit here and there.
It's funny because
More
I've known you
flavor.
guys for so long, I can hear a Bob and a Jeremy riff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, that sounds like my boys right there. You know what I mean?
I
But
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
excellent job with the drums.
Thank you.
Badass,
Thank
super
you.
tight. I liked it. The song structure is always big for me. We've talked about that before, but you know, with you guys or whatever, that's always important to me. Bring something back that's good.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the riff soup. Like some bands can do it, right? But I'm always an advocate of let's have a little structure to it. Like,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
For sure.
you know, it doesn't have to be overly complicated, you know, but at the same token, and then you guys change it enough. I like you played the one riff twice, and then when the third time you played it, you put that little triplet in there. So I like
Yeah.
that, you know,
Oh,
little
yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah, just a little
Yeah.
shit in there.
Then that vocal at the end, like, so I listened to the other record when,
Without compassion.
yeah, so on that record, so your vocals seem a little different on this one.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that true?
Yeah.
Or?
So
It's Mike's fault.
Yeah, it's Mike's fault. So just
Mike's fault, huh?
Just
In a good way.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think they're. I mean, I like the vocals on the other one. I just feel like they're a little different on this one.
Real quick.
yeah, we'll take a little bit of a journey here.
Sure.
So last year I got to a point where I had a vocal cord injury that was actually causing acid reflux into my vocal cords.
Okay.
And it had
Ouch.
nothing to do with screaming. So I had to go through and work with a speech pathologist, change my diet for about 6 months. Had to be really careful about when I was eating. And then when I got into summer and I knew we were going to be recording this, I started taking like screaming lessons too.
Oh, okay.
So I could relearn how to do all of that.
Nice.
So like I can do all of those old vocals. These I thought were kind of better,
Yeah.
fit better,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and were easier on my voice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I think Jeremy and I, we had about 6 vocal sessions, 5. I think we recorded each song about 3 to 4 times.
Okay.
We went through the ringer on that. I mean, like, yeah, he and I just had our like, because we
Yeah.
actually like 99% of the stuff was tracked with Colin, but we tracked some leads, we tracked the vocals ourselves.
Okay.
In my home studio.
Yeah. Nice.
And we just kind of went through boot camp and we tried a bunch of ideas And honestly, Ryan would we'd do a whole session and he'd listen to it and he'd be like, scrap it. That's not good enough.
Yeah, we scrapped it multiple times.
And we kept doing that. And then we just finally, like, because honestly, most of the things we do in this band, it's as a band. Like, it's together. It's what we all want. Yeah. And we just were like, no, we all need to be there. And, like, we all sat there. And honestly, credit to Mike. Mike really pushed Ryan and had the right way to say things and push things. And I think it just got the best performance out of Ryan at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, he doesn't need any bigger of an ego because he's got a big enough one now. But I've been fortunate enough to track a handful of vocalists and be in a couple sessions. And like Ryan does have a way, like, there's vocalists and they'll just blow their vocals out and then they're like done. But like Ryan truly is like when he's over there, it blows my mind because like he's doing it the right way and he knows what he's doing. And so it ends up, it just honestly makes it a lot easier to work through it. And we could do a couple songs in a couple takes and it's like those aren't good, but we're not done. His vocals aren't fried, so we can Mike can say, I don't like that. Go back and redo it this way, which happened a lot. But I think I'm really stoked on how the vocals turned out, and I'm stoked with how Colin is kind of working with those vocals to get the sounds that we want.
Yeah, because a lot of it was like there's a lot of Morbid Angel in there, specifically Covenant, and that's like. Because that's like the album that really got me into death metal, which is why you hear a lot of those like similar effects in there. Because that was like, I want to cook it. Let's cook it. Let's fuck around. Let's find out.
Oh yeah.
Well, you were going to say something. I had something to say, but go ahead. You were going to say something.
Just overall, the track I thought expressed a lot of diversity in the vocal flavor. It wasn't just like a high pitch or a mid tone throughout. There was a lot of different vocal approaches. It felt like like there was a lot of different style. And also there was clarity in the enunciation. Like I could discern almost all of the lyrics. It just
that makes him happy. That makes Ryan very
happy. That's like 100% like the goal at the end of the day. I know it's a fry vocal, but I don't want toilet bowl gutturals pushing the refrigerator across the Maytag. Man.
That's the next album. We're gonna have
the Mike's like, nah. We're not doing that.
I think the whole EP was just about sort of striving for a little more consistency in our sound.
Yeah.
And just, this kind of part. We kind of said, pick a couple vocal styles and we're going to stick with that. And there's a couple parts where, there's like a little more experimenting, but for the most part, we were just kind of like, let's pick a couple styles because we're trying to like identify ourselves, like pick our sound and go with it,
Yeah. And that was the one thing I was going to say from listening to the other one freshly, the last Without Compassion, right? That's what it's called. Like to me, that was the vocals were enunciated on there, but these vocals seem like they're a little more on the death metal side. It still had the enunciation, but they were still more towards more heavier, I should say. Like kind of more and. Hearing him say that, obviously that makes sense. Like trying to identify an actual sound, So, cool.
Yeah, I love clear vocals. I fucking hate when it's
like the slam vocal.
I love that shit. But
I love that shit too.
I can appreciate that. Maybe that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, in your
band, that's not for us.
Right. Cool. Well,
I do like it though.
Are we ready for the next track?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So the next track is called "Dwell." This is a song that this is maybe one of the older new songs. This song, I maybe missed. This song, I'm pretty sure we've had like so many iterations of it, and like this is the one where we've played it entirely different at one.
Yeah, the riffs have been around for literal years.
Yeah, and we played it one way. I mean, like this song has taken many. But that's what I mean. Like our intentionality with writing these songs.
This is a pre-COVID song.
Pre-COVID, maybe even
was it that old?
Maybe even probably something that
before that.
I think some of these riffs are probably riffs that me and Mike played before this band ever was a band.
Oh, no shit. Okay, cool.
So this next song's called "Dwell."
Nice.
Not the life that I want to continue. Burning coals and throwing stones to burn me. So stay with me. So tired of feeding this disease. So dwell with me. And you can follow me as I want to live in misery.
Very nice. Very nice.
Sweet. Thanks for that grind. I love that. That's my shit right there.
That might be my favorite song.
Okay, nice.
You're a fan of Dwell?
I think I am.
Is that like your favorite to play or just your favorite one overall?
Maybe both.
Oh, nice. Makes sense.
I really like that one.
I think that one puts a lot of our influences in one song
Okay.
for sure.
So this kind of goes back to maybe just before the podcast. I think Jeremy and I were talking about utilizing a good riff and using it different ways, like layering it, going back and forth. And you guys also did that, like you made that chuggy riff, like the fill to one part, and then you just made it its own riff. And then at a point in time, it felt like you were playing with that riff more, like doing different beats over it, doing different layers, doing different vocal over it. So that was a good use of like a riff that you're like, okay, we're not gonna waste this one time. We're gonna play it. It's basically the fucking song, you know, and then
100%.
we're gonna build around it a little bit more. And you guys had the solo sections too, which is cool. Couple of did you guys duel on that one back and forth, or was that all one person?
Yeah, no, and that's really how we do things. Like, there's really like if we write a riff, like we'll play the stuff, we'll practice the stuff, and if Bob comes up with something cool, then he's gonna play that cool thing over that. If I come up with something cool, then I'm gonna play that cool thing. But we don't have a lead guitarist or rhythm. Like, it's really just.
Well, I definitely say that Jeremy's more of the lead guitarist. I dabble from time to time.
That's fair.
Agree to disagree, but yes,
Dip my toes
but I
in
think
it.
we share those. Like, so both, like the first lead is Bob,
Sure.
Nice.
the second lead was me.
Okay.
But
You write
yeah,
your own rhythms for those sections, or is it just like a collaborative effort in that?
it's
part too?
honestly like that riff that I don't even honestly know who wrote that riff at this point.
I think that was kind of a
thrashy riff.
collaboration. I from what I
Right.
remember, that thrashy riff was like I came to the table with it, and then I think Jeremy changed it up a little bit, and that's what we ended up with.
Nice.
And that's honestly like I feel like our best secret at this point is just the way that we do write songs. Like Bob and I can sit down and we can demo them out on like in Reaper and track them all and get
Sure.
it. So it's like, okay, this is the song. We all like these riffs and this song structure, right? Cool.
Yeah.
And then we sit down and Mike and Ryan come in and they have the drum. I have an electronic drum set. And Ryan can plug his bass in, and then we sit there and riff through that. And then we can even start to say, like Mike might say, man, it'd be cool if we did this. And then we can sit there and we can do the pre-pro right then and there as we're writing. That's honestly, like, I mean, there's a couple riffs I know for sure were Bob's, or
Right.
maybe for sure I know were mine or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like most of these songs I couldn't even tell you anymore. Like who wrote that or who did that, because it's
Right.
like
Your memory's terrible.
Ryan, my memory is terrible. It is, but Ryan, like
Bob could tell you
Ryan
his
probably
riffs,
wrote
I
it at
think.
this point. You know, Mike wrote it at this point. Like I don't
Right.
even know who. Like
So I got two questions. One, with that being said, so do you write riffs too? Do you bring like riffs to the table, like on the bass, and say, "Hey, I kind of got this thing," or you kind of feed off them, or how does that work for you?
My riffs are not as good as theirs, so I don't. I very rarely bring riffs.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just kind of like they're better at it,
Okay.
and my skills are a little bit more in like arranging. So let's do this part, let's do
Okay.
this part, let's try this.
Or tweak it a little bit this way or that way. or
Yeah,
whatever.
and
Okay,
it's
cool.
if it's I
Yeah.
kind of believe if someone's better at it, why would I do it?
You're right.
If I can come in and
Yeah.
like these are my skills, I can offer this.
Yeah.
Yeah. that makes sense.
No, I do. This is actually the first album that anyone's actually helped with lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a couple songs where we kind of collaboratively in those sessions were like, no, we need to cut this line, or we need to do this, or what can we write here? So no, I don't really write any riffs.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I love the collaboration. You know?
He wrote a couple on the last album.
Okay.
And they're a couple of my favorites. So
Oh, nice. Cool.
I think if Jeremy and I's brain is like racked for a part, it's like
I've got ideas.
he's got an idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool though. It's kind of in the bag, you know.
Yeah.
My other question was, before we get into this third song, is now, were these the only songs you guys wrote? Did you scrap a couple, or were you just arrange these 6 songs until you got them how you want them, and then that's what this is? Because I know sometimes you might write 8 and then
This
pick
is
the
all we
best
had. We
ones.
kind of put ourselves behind the 8 ball on some of this because we were like, we booked studio time and had like 2 songs and like ideas. But we had been so long since we wrote music that Jeremy and I had tons of riffs saved up. So it was like nothing to like get enough ideas for the album.
Okay. Right. That's cool though.
Yeah, it's really just. I mean, this is what we have at the moment. We have a couple other. Between Bob and I, there's probably 5 other songs that are mostly written.
Okay.
At the moment, but they're not fleshed out like Bob said. This was really just us being like, we have these ideas, we have a vision, we want to do these things. Like, let's just book the time and get it done.
Force us to get
it
done.
So it gave you 6 songs, and that's what you had to bring to the table, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anything, Nick?
I have one. I can sit on it for later, but while we're here, Ryan, we play bass and sing, you and I. So my question for you, we suck. Fucking throw it away. My question for you is, and I wrestled with this too, like, how complex am I going to make my bass line versus just focusing on vocals right here? Do you wrestle with that? Do you look at your line and you say, I got to simplify this part right here so I can get vocals out? Or
that's about 90% of everything I do. Is I'm notorious for overwriting lyrics and bass lines.
Sure.
To the point where it's like, shut the fuck up. Like,
right.
You don't need to do all of it. So like this song
you
actually.
Said it, not me.
I recorded the vocals for this one, the first take, and literally rewrote the entire song after that, keeping like 1 or 2 little parts because I'm like, it's just too many goddamn words. And it's not like I can do it because I'm real obsessive about practicing and making sure I can do it.
Sure.
But it's, can I do it? Yes. And a lot of times I like to go to, how complicated can I make it? But then I listen back and I'm like, but it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Necessary.
Yeah. I can. Should I?
Yeah.
And I will attest to that. It was mind blowing. Like the first session, the vocals were style A. Next session, they were entirely different. It was mind blowing. But yeah, I think there's been a couple times at practice, I think, where Ryan Old Knowledge would be like, why didn't I fucking think about this pattern I was playing with the vocals? Like,
right.
I'm gonna have to practice my ass off on that now.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And we're not like super strict, I would say, about playing the exact same thing live. So there's probably times that Ryan's like, I can play whatever I want on the record and make it different for a live.
I definitely do.
That's cool.
Improv live.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I definitely like looked at the bass lines in terms of like the record, the permanence of it, and I would probably lean into those a little bit more, while also keeping it simple so that the recording would sound good, not overcomplicate my bass line in the recording studio, but go in on it and then just sing over it any which way. And then if live, I have to make it slightly simplified. So it's like, well, the vocals are going to take.
I actually will simplify it for the recording and play way more complicated stuff live.
There you go.
Nice. Just because I can.
Yeah, you're probably more used to it.
He does have a master's in music.
I do have a master's in music.
I got to get that in there.
Laker
for a lifetime.
We're reminded
from
about
the last
that.
podcast. We talked about that. For sure.
Yeah, you got to talk shit about me.
I did. Trust me, I did talk shit on you. It's okay.
I love that.
I debased you a little bit. I debased you in the basement.
We had to cut the recording after that.
All right, cool.
Okay, this next track is the third one. It's called Narcissist.
Oh, I love it.
I think this might be, in my opinion, my sleeper favorite. But I also like this one. I think people are like, it's a little different. But I'll let you decide.
Surrender to me! You will see as I see. You will feel as I feel. 'Cause I want you to know what's real. You will think as I think. You will do as I please. I am your wants. I am your needs. Training in this ecstasy, you're worthless as you are. For I alone am power and glory. I will take you far. And I'll tell you again. You will see as I see. You will feel as I feel. nothing to me. Open your eyes. I will force you to see. Fucking bow down!
Fuck yes.
Yeah, so far that was my favorite. That fucker was sweet, man.
Yeah, that
I
one
like
was
that.
hard.
Heard
Yeah.
some Morbid Angel in there.
Oh
a
yeah,
little
for
bit.
sure. You guys big influence all around. Everybody. Morbid Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mike was the only one I
for
was
sure.
not 100% sure of. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Fuck, I love that band.
That's where we get our name from.
Oh, yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
True.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, can you tell us a little bit about the your recording process and how that all worked for us? I mean,
Well,
It was a journey.
we kind of on purpose went into it unprepared a bit, I would say. We had the structure of all the songs, but like fills were pretty much all like off the cuff, like, and on purpose fills are a little bit sparser on this album than the last one, just to make it a little like more groovy, I guess. There's a little more groove, a little less like, I don't want to
Technicality,
say
maybe?
show offiness, but just like I don't have to play a fill every time.
yeah, that makes sense.
But the fills that are there are cool. Like a lot of Bob's riffs inspire these like Dave Lombardo kind of fills.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Yeah, because I just wanted to comment that the drums were very tasteful throughout the whole.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
picked up on that. Big
yeah,
time.
that was on purpose, I think.
Nice.
Everything you're saying, I'm like, dang it, we nailed it. This is
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
And then Colin actually he plays drums.
Okay.
And he had a lot of ideas and just kind of like, yeah, that sounds good like this, or oh hey, you should maybe try that, or like maybe throw a fill in right there just to like kind of mix it up. Or we haven't gotten to the song yet, but there's like one specific part that I really really love that Colin just was like, just play the kick drum like just a little bit different, and it just like transformed this part into like a whole new thing.
Nice.
And he had a lot of producing
I think
to
that
the
was
drum
kind of
side
like
of it.
that. I guess to double back to an older question when you guys asked like why'd we go with Colin?
yeah.
Honestly, I think part of that factored in, like knowing this guy's a drummer, he understands that. Because honestly, that was probably our bigger struggle up to this point, was getting a drum sound that we really liked,
Yeah.
and honestly, like
He went above and beyond what I had ever even hoped for.
it and
Fuck
like
yeah.
like drum like his like as far as drum sounds go and working with a drummer, like because I like it made me realize and clicked in my head how frustrating it must be normally for a drummer to work in a studio when the guy has no idea what they're talking about and they're just like, yeah, dude, and like me for example, when I communicate with Mike, he probably hates me because I'm like, do it like this,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't know what you mean, like what are you saying right now? Whereas like Colin could be like, play this beat, do a little flim flam, and do this, and like Mike could be like, got it like this, and it was like perfect. And so I think that actually factored in too, which is Colin being a drummer himself and us just
he could kinda
feeling confident.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's different too because like you can tell like, you know, a lot of producers are musicians too. So if the guitar player is the guy that's producing the shit, the guitars are probably going to stand out, right? And then if the drummer's the one producing shit and you guys wanted a drum sound, I mean,
Right.
that makes perfect sense, right? Because he's going to want to really make sure that them fucking drums are sounding
Yeah.
right and tight and
Yeah,
good. So
they do.
And
It's-
I think they sound great.
yeah, they do.
They really do.
But as far as like going in, like how long did it take? A couple days? Like what was that like the actual recording process like for you? I mean,
we did it in one day.
Okay.
We probably started at, I don't know, noon.
Yeah, it was around noon.
I probably started playing around noon and finished around like 8.
It was
Yeah,
earlier
okay.
because we did. I think it was like 6 or 7. It wasn't 8.
Oh, really?
yeah.
I think we did a little more after that day. But either way, it was within one day.
Nice.
day.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
that's
one
cool. That's
day.
cool. Clicks, obviously. Click tracks all the way through.
Yep.
Now, with you guys' music, are we talking you guys try to keep it to like one tempo from front to back, or you got a tempo map, or
No, we did slow these songs down from the last album though.
okay.
But I don't know. A lot of it's probably like one.
Well, we're like the 180 to 190 range generally with most songs, like BPM. But you know, it really
a lot of
it just
halftime
depends.
feel then.
I mean, honestly, like there's a lot of halftime feel in parts. But like I've been really, I mean, I'm a poser, but just in the past year or two, like been obsessed with death.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like there's time change. Like I think on our last album we actually purposely were like, no tempo changes, no nothing.
Okay.
Let's not complicate it. But that was wrong. Like that hurt the process and hurt some of the stuff. And
Sure.
on this, it was more like to Bob's point, like he would write a riff or write a part, and I would have it and I'd learn it. But then I'd be like, this would be way sicker if we bumped it up 20 BPM. Let's just make that part a little faster in contrast to this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mike can just write a cool fill to transition into it, and we'll rip it. And so we thought less about tempos and more about what makes this riff sound sick. And if it means we have 3 tempos in a song, then so be it.
Okay, that's cool. I like that because I spoke previously on, I think it was on the Dies podcast, we were talking about this. It's like sometimes you write a riff, and I'm sure you understand, Bob, too. You'll write a riff, and then you'll write another riff right after it, but a lot of times it doesn't sound good if it's all 180 BPM. You know what I mean? Like that next riff almost has to be a different BPM. It has to go to 140 or 130 just for that cohesiveness, for it to sound cool, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So there's 2 schools of thought on it. You know, you keep it the same all the way through. It gives it a good flow, and you know that like you only have to have one click in your head, but at the same time, like you do take some of that creativity away when you like, well, I can only write a riff that's in this BPM. So that's cool. I like that.
Yep. And to that point, I mean, when we play live, we have no click. We have nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
We have no in-ears or anything. We've tried that route, and it's just not who we are. We're just
Right.
we're just rockers, and
Yeah,
we
just
just want to
rocking.
rip the songs. And Mike's a solid drummer, so we don't really need it. But that's, I mean, I think that's what we realized.
I've seen you
Mike's
guys.
a
You're
fast
pretty straight
drummer.
live, so
when I realized
You
was
got that nervous tick on you a little bit. We all get it. I get it.
I like to make the songs faster,
He
even though
does.
I don't want to make the songs faster.
it happens.
Yeah, for your own sake, right?
Yeah.
but really we wanted just to focus on the songs and the riffs and not let a tempo dictate the song.
Yeah,
we just,
nice.
you know, we wanted to do what was best for the song and the riff.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I like that. And it's a little different because back in the Infinite Design days, we would have fucking 15 tempo changes in a song, and then that started steering us the other way, where it's like, yeah, that's a little bit too much because it's like one riff here, one riff where, you know what I mean? Then you're like, you know, so then you kind of curtail it back, where if you got 3 or 4, that's okay, but you know.
One other big thing, talking about the drum recording that I think made everything better and more relaxed, is I kind of like swallowed my pride and decided I was not going to worry about full takes.
Right.
So there was a lot more of parting songs out and like basically being like, what the fuck am I going to play here exactly? And then doing that part and then being like, all right, that was sweet.
Yeah, because
Let's move on.
Mike is very capable of doing it. So it's like the Without Compassion, every song that is one take all the way through with
Yeah,
very
most of them
minimal,
are.
very minimal edits on there. So it's like he can do it, but why when we can do it differently?
Yep. I've been in there too, where it's like you record the song 3 times and you pick the best one, you know, and then as the recording process gets easier and more technology comes out, it's like, why not use that technology and just go part by part, man? It's the recording is forever.
Yeah.
We get to go part by part as guitar players, so why can't you? Because let's make it the coolest it can be, because it's on recording, and then if you fucking suck at it live, then people will see that, but like it's on you really just to play it live, you know.
I think it saved me from burning out a lot earlier in the day too, because I'm not ripping all the song, like playing like 20 plus songs.
20 takes over the whole song.
Yeah, 6 hours you wouldn't get that done.
Right.
You can kind of stop, take a breather, listen to it, make sure it sounds good, and then go on to the next one.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Yeah.
I say do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jay
you
and
know.
we were about that life early on. It was like you're writing a complex bass line. I was like, hey man, fucking hell, this is gonna take 20 takes, and he's like, do whatever it takes, man. Like we'll get to that part. You know, you'll do some parts, and it's like that was easy. You good with it? I'm good with it. Really, one take it? Yeah, one take it. We're done. We're done here next. Because you know
That's
that 20,
Bob.
you know
Bob's
that
a one
20
take
take
wonder.
riff is coming. You know that you're gonna spend like 40 minutes on one part or a vocal, and you're like, okay, fuck, we need. And Jay's always been super forgiving about that. He just gets it. Like take your time on it. Splice in the drum tracks. No way, dude. Do 3-minute takes over and over and over again. No way. Fucking punch in, punch out.
Yeah.
Get it right. Make it sound good. It's permanent.
That sucks. And that's what we did on that first album, and that took a day and a half of drumming, and that was
exhausting.
A little grueling.
I think it's frustrating and exhausting. I do remember Mike feeling like I feel good. I feel fresh. Like I'm not even tired. Like I could keep going.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that with a couple things. I think just as we get older, we really don't give a shit about rules or norms or what people do. Like, Bob and I definitely, we're 100% tube guys and pure. Like, we love tube amps. It's our preference. It's not because we have to, because we give a shit. It's like, we like that. But for this, we were like, but hey, let's go back and we can track leads. Actually, Bob's leads are all still just from the studio and live. But like, some of my leads are amp sims.
Yeah.
I'm using Neural DSP amp sims to dial in the sound I want and get the tone I want, and it sounds great, for the lead. I wouldn't necessarily do that for the riffs and the chuggers, but I'm not against that for leads. And at the end of the day, whatever makes the product sound better, the listener does not care.
No. Right, 100%.
No. That's the thing. You'll always over-evaluate it because it's yours or if you're the producer of it, right? But at the end of the day, you're making music for people that don't necessarily just always play music or produce music. You'll have those guys that you have in your mind because that's the way you think. But someone isn't going to give a fucking thing. Oh, that's Neural DSP.
Yeah. I don't know if he played this whole song in one take on the drums.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm turning it off right now.
I didn't.
Screw
Not
these
one
guys.
of them.
I'm listening to something else.
Hatebreed was probably the closest one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Blood Incantation wouldn't like us.
Yeah, Blood Incantation. They won't fuck with us, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll fuck with them, but
okay.
they might be like, you didn't track a tape in one take, you poser.
Right.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
We don't have enough etudes. All right, so this next song is our title track of the EP. It's a Worthy Adversary.
Nice.
Got a little funky bass line to start this off, so Mod will be happy. And
I'm listening.
this song, I mean, I don't know. This is an older one too, right?
It's probably the first new song that we finished.
Yeah, like Dwell was a song that we had been in, like there was many iterations of it, so it's older. But this is the first song that we're like, cool. And this is the first thing that I've been a part of actually. So Without Compassion, I threw some solos on there, but that's all these guys.
Right.
That was probably 90% Bob, 10% Ryan, and obviously however they wrote it. But I came in. And that, I had nothing to do with that. So this Worthy Adversary is probably the first song I wrote with the band that we finished. And this is a good song. So
awesome.
Yeah. This is also lyrically my favorite song.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. I like the title.
So here we go.
cool. I like that.
Super chuggy.
So what I'm noticing too, so far 4 songs in compared to the last album, I'm calling this more death metal than the last stuff.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, there's more death metal. Like there was a good mixture on the last album, but this I'm hearing a lot more death metal come through on this.
Yeah.
I also just for
And I'm
songs
here
in,
for it.
Like, yeah.
I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah, 100. You see my head bobbing over.
Lots of grumpy cats.
Songs. First 2 things. The songs are so well produced. Like everything sounds so good. All the way across the board. Drums, guitars, bass. Like I can hear the bass in the mix. That's one thing I look for. Is like, can I even fucking hear the bass at all? Why did you bother recording him if he's not gonna be in the mix? Right.
That bass tone is nasty.
No, it is.
It's
right
so
here.
sick.
Only note on the song: bass tone, smile. Like just like having it.
Colin, 19 Star Studio.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
It's good in the low end, and I can hear it in the higher register.
So
It's mean and dirty.
That's actually
gritty.
just straight from my pedal board. That's exactly what my live tone is.
Fuck
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Nice.
So,
Shout out Dark Glass.
And then
Shout
the
out
other,
Dark
yeah,
Glass.
yeah, I use a dark glass too, but
Everyone does.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's
and
good.
then the other
It's
thing
good.
is like these songs are very consistent across the board, like riff wise, song to song, like they're in the chuggy parts, you know, all the little noodly fills, like everything sounds really consistent, like a dialed in album, and the songwriting process came off like really natural. Putting
know-
songs
Thanks.
together.
Appreciate that.
I know when we were writing, we definitely were talking about like thinking about it like pop songs.
Mhm.
Just like let's make it consistent, let's make it predictable for the
Yeah.
listener. So when
Yeah, I
like
love
when
it.
we come back to something, we play with it a little bit,
Sure.
but it's I want you the second time we play it live to go, yeah, I like this.
Yeah,
fucking
I'm glad they
riff."
brought
Yeah.
that part back.
I love it, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
same.
And going back to kind of what like Mike was saying, like you were going for a sound, and I think you guys got what you were going for. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Like,
Yeah,
because you can get
I
off
think
on
we
a
did.
tangent, especially because like all of us at this table, we all like a lot of the same shit, but we all like different stuff. So it's very easy to be like meld trying to put all these parts together, but you got to be very directive in like your decisions on what you're actually going to choose. You know what I mean? Because you go with this 2-step hardcore part, you could put in a fucking gang vocal, you could put in then a death metal part, then a grind. You know what I mean? Like the list goes on and on with all the influences. Especially nowadays with metal. Everything's kind of together anyway. It's hard to say it's this or it's that. With all these subgenres. But
Well, and that actually makes me think of like I can't even remember what song it was for sure now, but like there's a part that like there was like 2 riffs that were in one of these songs that I loved. It was like it kind of was this weird like death influence like off of Leprosy,
that
kind
would've
of
been
like
Narcissist.
proggy.
No, that would have been the next one. I'm about to
Merciless.
listen
kind
to.
of proggy
Yeah,
and there was
Merciless.
some things in it, and I think like everyone was like those are really cool and they're sick, but like it's just not right for this song. And I remember being a little bit like I tried as hard as I, and that was
We had
like
to
a
wrestle.
process.
We had to wrestle that one and be
I
like,
because
it's a
I
new
could,
song.
because we could move the because of it being in Reaper and already out there, I could just move it around or redo it. And so I would be like, well, what about if I did it like this? And every time it was like, we're just trying too hard. Like,
Yeah.
why are you? We don't need to force it. It's a cool riff, and so
It really was a cool riff, but didn't fit the song, Jeremy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
well, but now
Putting
we've got
that
2 parts for
right,
we've already got a start of a
right.
new song from
Sure.
it, but it's like nothing is precious in this band. I feel like,
I love it.
It's nothing like
I love
well,
that.
like Ryan's like, well, no, I wrote that, so we're keeping
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's like no,
I do
like,
get
people don't
pretty
like it,
upset.
get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like if it,
And you're going to because it's
Yeah.
it comes from your creative, antenna that's coming into you that's different than everybody else.
but
here,
it sucks. So
Yeah.
too bad.
So like when
Yeah,
we're
it
like,
was
just
bullshit,
for instance when
so
we're doing
fuck
it's
you.
that right there. I was about to say that. It's so when Jeremy and I are doing vocals, he'll go, let's listen to it, and he goes, I don't know, let's sleep on it. And Mike will immediately go, no, that's fucking bullshit. Do it again.
Yeah.
I think
but
if
in a
Mike,
nice way.
Mike's way cooler than me.
if Mike is going to be straight with you, it's really hard to get offended if it's coming from Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he can be honest and true with you, and you're not going to be offended. How are you going to get offended?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
he does say
well,
it's fucking bullshit.
yeah.
It sounds like shit.
But I think that's just
but
us.
then I laugh, so
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah.
you got a little smirk.
Well, it's also different because, like, if you were in your 20s, it's a little different. But now that we're all a little older playing
Yeah.
music, like,
Yeah.
you can't be married to these ideas either because, like, you can't be like, well, fuck you because you don't like my idea. It's like, no, there's 4 guys in the band
Yeah.
or 5 guys, in
Yeah.
other bands.
Yeah.
And, like, you got to look at it like, hey, we all want to make the best thing possible. So if you don't like it, or it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. You know,
if you're that attached to the idea, then write a solo album. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, you can do that.
And I'm not doing that, so fuck that riff then, and we'll just won't ever play it.
Yeah, it's under the rug now, buddy.
If Mike says it sucks and it sucks, and I gotta practice more.
Yeah,
listen to cooler music.
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't think Mike has ever vetoed something and then the song sounded bad because of it.
I like that.
Mike really has a good ear for production.
Somebody's got to step in and say like yes or no at the end of the day, whether or not
it's
they're
drummers.
like somebody objective.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, drummers get some shit talked about them, but I'm going to tell you right now, like anybody I've ever seen who's a drummer who plays guitar, they're infinitely better than me. They already are better than me. Like drummers who produce music, they're better than everyone else who produces music. Like people will talk shit on drummers, but they are literally the most talented person in the band.
I can't play guitar, unfortunately.
Okay, I was just going to ask that because
no, I wish.
If he could, he'd write the sickest riffs.
I used to
and
play
Bob would
piano, and I know how to read music and stuff, but I can't play guitar.
Don't even try.
I want to try.
Stay in your lane.
I'd love to try.
Better not kick me out because you write better riffs than me, Mike.
All right, so what's this next country song we got coming up?
So this is, I said this one was my favorite vocally. I just like the overall idea. The song we're about to listen to is probably my favorite just from not the lyrics themselves, but the overall theme and just the way, the density of the vocals. Because it's like the middle third of the song is just relentlessly vocals in the fucking
This is
best way.
merciless.
This is merciless, yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is a
This is
a
a
headbanger.
This is a headbanger. This is our slow jam.
Mm-hmm.
This is one for you to slow dance at the middle school dance.
Yeah.
Too.
Take a breather.
This is also our like very obvious Morbid Angel influence. So.
I would say that, but I respect that too. So let me do that.
Celestial being can seek in the joy of rapture, in the ecstasy of violence needs ordered to the angel of compassion. You will come to fear my name. Enemy will come to know my restless torment. To me, climb out of sight with me, listening. Merciless, no time for the weak in a country of conflict. Empty yourself and become my vessel. Bow to me, I was blessed when everything falters. You should be, I alone will fulfill your desires. Merciless, for you are nothing. Emptiness, without me. You're merciless. Emptiness. My desires fulfilled. Tooth and claw, me gnashed in my bones. But I am not without you. Enemy will come to know my restless torment. To me, climb out of time with me, listening. Merciless, no time for the weak in a country of conflict. Empty yourself and become my vessel. Bow to me, I was left when everything falters. You shall see, I alone will fulfill your desires. Merciless, for you are nothing. Emptiness, without me.
My pain is constant and sharp, and I do not hope for a better world for anyone. In fact, I want my pain to be inflicted on others. I want no one to escape. But even after admitting this, there is no catharsis. My punishment continues to elude me, and I gain no deeper knowledge of myself. Knowledge
yeah, so I want to be your hype man live, and so you guys don't have to do it. I'll just come and tell everybody you need to move the fuck up to the stage. Like, I need all bodies right here on the rail, because you guys, I can, like, in my mind, I'm listening to these songs, and I'm like, God damn it. Like, I can see 200 people just pressed up against the rail right now, just with this groove, everybody together, just moving in a wave. Mm-hmm. You know, like, mosh pits are cool. I love it, but, like, I don't want to be in a mosh pit. And I could see advocating for one when you're on stage. Hey, let me see a fucking pit. But more than anything, like, by and large, I want to see like a mass of bodies just like moving together, just as one, just grooving. And one more thing, I fucking love that song outright. Like, that bitch was slamming.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it coming from you, man.
I love it. It was a little bit different from the rest of the album. It felt like just a little bit more open, and there wasn't as much of that chuggy palm muting until the end when you fucking ran me over so hard. Like, I was just over here trying not to laugh on the mic.
We snuck in that slam riff at the end. I got it.
We spent more time on the last 20 seconds of that song than we did on the whole rest of the album.
Okay,
probably.
that makes sense. It hits. It fucking hits, man. I was loving it.
Well, yeah, this is the one that had the little proggy part in it, like a couple things, and we just said nah. And I'm going to toot my own horn for a second, because that end riff is definitely a Bob-esque riff. I wrote that. riff. That was me trying to be Bob when I grow up.
Yeah,
well, I remember toying with that song, and then like you had that recorded, but I think we worked on the song for a while before that we ever heard that. And I was like, what is that? That's the end of the song. We were like trying to fit that proggy thing in there.
I
and
think
I'm like,
you broke that out, and I was like, fuck, we got to somehow figure out how to just like
Well, I remember Bob saying like, wait, why are you asking me to write a riff? You have that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
and I was like, you approve, Bob? Like, that was just me, like, ripping off something I saw you do once. I don't even know.
That's also one of the songs. I mean, like, in that slam riff, there's a very, like, drastic, unprepared tempo change.
Oh, yeah. I heard
sure.
That makes it fuck hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I like that. Because it to me, it was like the first part of it was kind of like old school. Like, there's some old school feel there. Like, it's great.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
It's great. I loved all of it. And then at the end, then you just kind of went into that slam part, and I was like, okay, this is slam right here. And I did like how when it broke off, the bass kind of stood out a little bit, and then you guys changed the riff a little, and there was still some space in there, but the bass kept going, drums kept going, and then like at the end, that little like 2 cymbal thing when it like kind of paused or whatever, that was fucking really sweet. I like that a little
tasty little nugget.
Yeah, just that little ear candy type thing, but it just made a huge difference, you know.
I like how the intro kind of became more of a chorus type feel throughout the song. Like, it took on a different identity. You guys like. It didn't feel like the intro anymore. You didn't like break everything back down to that doomy vibe.
Yeah.
You took that same progression and feel of that whole entire riff, but made it like with a beat and a vocal, and made it more part of the song than just an intro. So that was pretty cool too. Good use of the riff there, bringing it back.
Oh yeah,
thank you.
With zero guitar ability, I had to figure out how to explain that like dun 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 dun, dun part.
Sometimes you gotta gent it. You gotta Cheech and Chong it. You gotta just.
Cool shit.
And then I was like, and then there's got to be a pause,
Yep.
and then the breakdown.
Yeah. That's why Lars gets paid big bucks. He tells Kirk how to play his guitar, and you don't even know how to play.
So we do have one more song as a cover. Do we want to go over that, or do we want
let's
to
fucking play it?
Covers, boo.
Is it gonna be on the album?
Yeah, it's gonna be on there
Then
for sure.
let's fucking play it.
Yeah,
features vocals from all of us.
Oh,
and actually, I wanted to comment on that. So
Yeah, go ahead.
Bob has a couple parts on here. So when you hear earlier in it, when he goes "fucking bow down," that's brutal, Bob. And then the witness little call out, that's Bob. So Bob is slowly becoming like co-vocalist,
The front
in this
man.
band.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna
think
get
we've
real
always
weird with
kind
it.
of had everybody do vocals on at least one part, but
Mhm.
I think only you really have vocals on that. Well, you both have vocals on the album. I think I'm only on this cover song.
Yeah.
I don't think Jeremy has.
No,
any vocals.
I'm only on.
No,
this song.
yeah.
I'm only on the
really?
cover.
Both of
We,
us?
we're working with stuff live though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
doing more
Okay.
things live and just
Yeah.
trying to get that album feel. But on this, it was honestly just a group effort, and we just were like,
Mhm.
it's a cover. Let's have fun with it.
Sweet.
So Ryan kind of starts off the vocals, then Bob kind of takes off the vocal, like takes over the vocals, and then Mike and I, on one part, we kind of synergize, and like what you hear is really like us as one.
Nice.
Very zen experience. So a little. This is a hate breed song for you hate breed fans.
Living as we run, shower shatters as we divide, our souls to sink in endless seas of sin. No turning back. No repenting, no remorse, in second creation. I realize in this world there is not one truth cast in the stone. The only light cast in the flames. Not one truth cast in the stone. Only lies cast in the flames. Time to burn! Burn alive! It's time to burn! Burn at the stake! Rise crystal clear! Our bodies frozen with fear. There's nothing save us now from endless suffering and solitude. We've lost the chance to save this dying world. So we pay the price of which no one can afford. This is our last breath. The first in a world of misery. There's nothing left. I realize in this world there's not one truth cast in the stone. The only life cast in the flame. It's time to burn! Burn alive! It's time to burn! Burn at the stake!
Cool. Do you guys cover that live then? Is that something you do
Yeah.
live, or was that only?
We
for
did it at our
EP?
last show, and then what was it? Last Halloween we played kind of a weird show,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we
we
were
did,
like,
like,
let's
3 or
just
4
do
Hatebreed
Hatebreed
covers.
songs, and there was
I think we did like 2 of our own songs, and we did like a 5-song Hatebreed
yeah,
set.
yeah.
And I think for
Done
us,
that
like
similar.
Hatebreed's just always been one of those underlying bands. Like they
For
are
sure.
consistent for us. Like we've always been fans of theirs. Like, and I think all of us have learned. Like we didn't have to do anything to learn these songs or learn that song.
Everything I've done with Bob, we've covered Hatebreed.
Yeah,
So
I think every band I've been in's covered Hatebreed, so
It's mandatory.
it had to happen.
Makes sense. Cool,
It-
cool.
Is that the track sequence that we can expect? Were they just played to us in order that you plan on releasing them on the recording?
That is the plan. That is the plan for now. But I mean, there's always some mysteries, or who knows? Maybe something will strike us. But
Yeah.
as of now, this is kind of where we're at with the track listing.
Do you find that to be an important consideration at all?
Oh yeah.
Like
for sure.
I-
obviously
Yeah.
track opening, like opening track is important, right? Like,
So this is gonna sound super fucking pompous, but I'm never
That's Ryan
impressed
for
when
you.
a band can write a good song. I'm impressed when a band can write a good album.
yeah, amen to that though.
Like I don't give a fuck about it. I mean, like I like a single, it's good, but there's albums that I will listen to on repeat and have maybe for 10 or 15 years because the entire album is perfect.
Right.
Every single fucking riff is
Yeah.
perfect, and it all flows together.
Yeah, that's key. Really, I think the bigger mystery is like getting it to flow the right way.
Yeah.
For me at least, like just making sure that you're not putting 2 songs back to back that like they have
Yeah.
the exact same energy and it feels
Exactly.
exactly the same way, or that song goes really fast to end and the next song's really fast to start and it just kind of blurs in. I think just being intentional about like, man, that song rocks really hard at the end there, so maybe the next song, if it was a little more of a build up, it'll flow better,
Right.
it'll go better.
Cool. So digital only release.
For this, yep, digital only, unless somebody wants to hit us up, and we've done the physical releases on previous things. Everything we do is DIY. It's something
Yeah.
we do ourselves. We
Yeah.
we pay for it. We put it out as we've never had any label support or backing. This is a total just passion project, DIY. Do it
Relatable.
because we can't do it. We don't know what else to do with ourselves.
Yeah.
But hey, if someone wants to hit us up,
I mean,
hit us up. Slide
So-
in them DMs and see if you want to release it on cassette or I'd love a little vinyl release, but no, right now we're just doing this as a digital EP, releasing it on every streaming service.
Yeah.
You check out Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, YouTube, wherever you want to listen to music at, it'll be there.
Have you seen the album art?
No, I have not.
So
It's pretty dope.
The album art is probably one of the only things that all of us have unanimously. Is that
That's
the
a
word?
word.
Yep,
Right,
yep,
nails
yep.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I have a concussion right now, so I can't think.
No,
of
that was
words.
good. That was
It
good.
You
is-
nailed it.
It is one of the only things that all of us have right away gone, fuck yeah.
That is dope. I like. Yeah, that is. I like. a lot about that.
Yeah, and I don't know if we can send that to you.
We'll get it to you.
We'll put it on the screen so everybody kind of sees what we're talking about.
On the topic of like releasing music these days, that is something I wrote up here that we would talk about. But I'm huge on physical copies. I'm relentless. I don't care that it's a plastic fucking CD that is like. I don't think that we're past it. I don't think we're above it. People bring back vinyl. I'm for the compact disc. I mean, just all you do is throw that bitch in your CD player like one time. In your, and then you move those files over to a more permanent cloud, what have you, and then you have a nice mint disc. You've supported the artist. You have a nice piece of art to thumb through and look at the booklet. I think it's an underappreciated art. I'm not going to let it die. I love that you guys are doing it. You've got artwork to accompany your release, and I think that's important to get other people involved. An artist, and I think it's important to put the lyrics out there. I think it's important to keep saying that we went to the studio and this guy recorded us, and here's what they do. I think all that stuff's important, but I want to see physical stuff at the shows. Merchandise probably even more important, like shirts, hats.
We got tons of that. We're
Our
stacked. Our shirt game's solid. We got tons of merch.
Yeah. We got some up the sleeves too. We got a shirt design that
we have like 3
we
haven't done anything with.
Yeah, we got a couple like shirt designs, merch designs.
Way more money in shirts than CDs. Then
I've always been a big fan of. Oh, I don't even have any service. I can't show you that. We'll send some other shirt designs over too.
Sweet.
I've always been a big fan. If you're gonna put out a release, digital, fucking steal it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna give you something physical, I want it to be something special.
Yes.
Like I want it to be like a limited edition. You can't get many of these. Holy shit! I fucking want that.
Yeah,
I want it to be something where it's not a CD where you go, oh cool, throw it in.
Yeah.
Like do that. I want it to be something where it's like, I would fucking frame this. I would hang this up. I would display it somewhere.
So I'm not going to take too much more of you guys' time up. I want to appreciate you all for coming on. I do have another question. Who did the art then? Where did that idea come from? Is that somebody you
So it's online. I'd have to check and go through everything.
Die of Suffering.
Yeah, Die of Suffering. Yep, Die of Suffering 666. Instagram artist. Like we just
okay. So
we went on
somebody to do it. You gave them an idea of what you wanted. And
well, actually, we actually had seen a piece of his work that we really liked, but we snooze you lose, and we didn't actually get on that in time. And so we just started talking to him about commissioning artwork, and we really liked that. But here's our ideas. Here's the songs. Here's what the lyrical themes are. And so that's kind of where we get with a Worthy Adversary. It's, doing that. And to Nick's point, we always are trying, like Ryan said, if someone else is better at it, let them do it. So we are all about DIY and doing as much as we can ourselves. But at the end of the day, like none of us are artists.
Right. Amen.
And so I want to, we source that stuff out. We're like, hey, like this is our idea. This is our vision. Our buddy Brett, he helps us a lot with graphic design and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, that's not what we're musicians, right?
Amen.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks,
our art.
Brett.
But as far as the visual side of it goes, we try to, find the people that can kind of see our vision the best and then take it the furthest it can go.
Nice. So 2 more things. Is there anything else you guys want to say about it that hasn't been said here?
I mean, I'm just gonna say it right now, and people can say what they want. But I'm tremendously proud of this release. I think all of us have put a lot of time and thought and effort into it. I think, to your point, it's cohesive. We had a vision, we had a mission, we had a plan, and I think we executed that. I'll stack these riffs up against any other band's riffs in the world, and in my opinion, they're better than your riffs, so deal with that. I think the vocals, I think the work that Ryan put into the vocals, once again, I'll stack my vocalist against anyone else's vocalist. He's better than you, and our drummer, he's better than you too. So it's not even about being like a competition and being like, fuck you, but I'm just saying, like, that's how I feel. Like
I love your passion.
It's that, like, I believe that we can stand toe to toe with anybody in this world musically, and we're gonna hold our own, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
No, you guys are
okay,
awesome.
Phil Ensemble.
Let's go. Hey, don't be comparing me to him. I don't need to be canceled, okay?
That was a very Ryan response there too. I like that.
Yeah, I thought Ryan was talking for a second.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I want to be clear. This is not saying that, hey, we're better than other bands and your band sucks. It's just I feel like what we're doing, like it is top tier, and it's good.
We've put in the work.
Yeah, I feel like the proof is in the pudding. Just having sat here and listened to the album, the EP, if that's your set plus 1 or 2 or whatever. Like for me, I want to hear the new material when I go and see. I want to see what you're about now.
Oh yeah.
And so I do want to hear like all 6 of these songs live plus 1 or 2, whatever time slot, a lot of time you have for your set. But I mean, that's a really good sounding piece of music right there. I can tell front to back. That is something to be proud of. You have the right energy about it. That's how I felt about our last release. I was like, man, we worked on it so long and so hard. And when I listened back to it, I put it up against all my favorite favorite songs, all my favorite albums. I was like, is it this? Is it that? And I put it right. I just looked at all of those in mine, and I was like, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I did what I wanted to do. Like I emulated the sound I wanted. It sounds like the sound I wanted, and it sounds like you guys have that with a Worthy Adversary. It sounds great.
Yeah, you should be proud of it.
Thanks.
It's a fucking great record, and like all the things you guys set out to do, I think you did accomplish with this, and I'm excited to see almost what you guys will do next now. So this comes out. This podcast will come out the day before it drops.
Yeah.
So 11/4 is the actual release date of this.
No, well, that's to be determined. Let's not get too hung up on dates yet, but we'll to be determined. But like, yes, before the date, like this will be the first spot you've heard this. So if you're listening now, you've got a little sneak peek, and that's the Metal Maniacs treat you get.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Stop shop.
You can let me know then when this podcast.
I'll let you know.
Okay,
I'll have my people talk to your people, and we'll get that.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. So, but yeah, you heard it here first. Yeah. With that being said, so thank you guys so much for coming on the fucking podcast.
Thanks for having us.
You back. And,
it was good to see you again too.
Yeah,
it's been years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
And I just want to say thank you guys for doing this in general, like Metal Maniacs, and giving metal music, extreme music, a platform. I mean, like it was our first thought. Like, when we thought we just 100% were like, man, like we should hit them up and do that. Like, you know, like rep their shit, they rep our shit, and just, you know, I really think it's cool what you guys are doing, and just there needs to be more stuff like this, and just that energy and people putting stuff out there and creating and supporting the scene and supporting other bands. So honestly, credit to you guys, and thank you for letting us come down and waste your time. So thank you for putting us on a spot.
It's always cool to hang out and fucking laugh and
I love
it. And hear about your how you like to fucking ejaculate or whatever.
We'll edit that one out.
The depravity.
The basement.
Yeah,
the basement.
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you, Mike.
Nice meeting you,
Ryan. It was good times, and hopefully there'll be more ahead.
Thanks.
Yeah, with that being said, so Worthy Adversary, it comes out tomorrow, whenever that will be.
Yeah, you're watching this. It's coming out tomorrow because this is the first place you can get these tracks.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks again, guys, and much love, man. Keep it metal.
Thanks, guys.